Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Tonight I'm coming to you with the 3-tiered tray DIY. And I'm so excited to do this DIY. I've been on Pinterest checking out all the different 3-tiered trays. And you all know that I love the farmhouse decor. So this is going to be a farmhouse style 3-tiered tray, and it is Pinterest inspired. I almost said expired. I don't know why I always want to say that. Pinterest inspired project. So if you would like to make this same project, you are going to need 3, let me show you. I got these in one of my last couple of hauls. You are going to need 2 or 3, however many tiers you would like to make, different size metal pans. Because I'm doing a 3-tiered tray, I have a large, a medium size, and a small size. You are going to need an old wooden rolling pin. You are going to need some E6000 glue and your glue gun. You're going to need a ruler and a pencil. Now, I was doing a dry run of this project, so I kind of had to do a few little alterations in order to make this work the way I wanted it. So, without further ado, let me turn you down and we'll get started. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is, if you want to use the rolling pin, you are going to have a circular saw, and you are going to cut this rolling pin into 3 pieces. I have one pretty large piece. This is about, let me get my ruler here. This is about a little over 5 1/4 inches tall. And then I have 2 smaller pieces, and these are 2 1/4 inches long. So where I made my mistake is I should have made one of these slightly taller, like probably 3, maybe 3 1/4 inches, and then made this one just a little bit shorter. But it is what it is. Because what happened was, when I put them together, there was not enough space in between the 2 trays. So, what I decided to do was, I got this piece of wood that I had, and I am going to put this, and then put one of my smaller ones to raise it up a little bit. Okay? So, I'm sure you're really confused now. So, let me show you. All right. So, the first thing you're going to do is you are going to take your bottom tier. You are going to take the larger of your 3 pieces. You are going to place it in the center. Now, what I did to find the center is I eyeballed it to where I thought it was the center. Then I took a tape measure or a ruler, and I measured from all 4 sides to make sure that it's even. Then I took my pencil and I drew a circle traced around my rolling pin. So that way, when I get the glue and everything, I know exactly where I need to put it. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to grab my E6000, And I am going to put some E6000 on the rolling pin. I'm gonna kind of spread it out. And I am also going to add hot glue so that I can continue working and I know that it's going to stay stuck. So that's my quick fix, is the hot glue. All right, and I am going to center it within that circle that I made. And I'm going to press down. And I'm gonna let it dry. Now I do have some glue that seeped out around the edge, and that's like the E6000. So I'm just gonna wipe that off. I should have actually brought a paper towel over here. So hang on, I'll be back. All right, so now that I have my first part glued on, what I am then going to do, and actually I did this, I did all my measuring before I glued anything. So then what I did is I took one of my rolling pin pieces and I found the center of my pan and I did the same thing. I traced around it and made my circle, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I am going to place this upside down with the bottom facing up. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my E6000 and I am going to squirt it on my bottom tier, my bottom rolling pin. And the only thing I hate about E6000 is that it oozes. It keeps oozing out. It's all over my table over here. All right, then I'm going to put some hot glue as well. And then I am going to turn this upside down on top of my circle, and I'm going to center it as best as I can. I'm going to center it right in the circle where it's supposed to be. Okay, and then I'm going to press down. Let that hot glue dry a little bit. I know it's going to keep popping up. All right. Yep, I have glue all over my table here. Let me get this off of here. It's making a mess and it's going to ruin my table. Oh, that's why I hate this stuff. All right. Now I can turn this over. All right. So now, remember I said that I didn't have enough height in between my middle tier and my top tier. So what I did was I got this piece of, it's actually a wooden candle holder. So what I did is I painted it because the end of my rolling pin is that color. So I figured to tie it in, I would paint it this color. I traced the circle on here once I found the center by measuring, okay? Traced this on. And now what I'm gonna do is I am going to put my glue on the bottom of this and I'm going to adhere it to there. Then I took my piece of rolling pin and again, I found the center and I traced around that, and then I will glue this on the center. So let's get gluing. So let me get this E6000. I know you guys can't see. Let me put it up here. Yeah, this stuff, it's awesome. It works fantastic, but you gotta, I know I should know better, but I should have had something sitting underneath this to catch the overflow. I want to make sure that I have enough on here. Now, if you don't want this to be a permanent thing, you could just use hot glue. And then you could like take it apart. See how it keeps coming out, it's coming out. All right, let me set it over here. Now, let's get my hot glue. Whoops, I overdid it. All right, and now I will turn it over, center it within that circle. All right, gotta come over a little bit, there we go. And then push it down. All right, now, I also took this and found the center of the bottom on the underside of my top pan. So I turned it over, found the middle, and also traced that because this is gonna have to go like this, okay? So make sure that you do that with all of your pans. And I also wanted to say, if you don't have a rolling pin and you still wanna make this project, you could put candle holders in between your pans instead of a rolling pin. I had originally bought these to use, but then when I found this project on Pinterest, I said, oh, I have to do that one. So I don't have a saw at home, so I brought the rolling pin with me to work, and I had the maintenance guys cut it for me. So kudos to Jeff at work because he helped me out. All right, so now let's do our glue on here. I'm running out. I brought another tube though, but I want to try to get as much out of here as I can. There we go, it's coming. All right, let me get my hot glue. All right, center this within that circle. We're good. Just press it down a little bit and let that adhere. Okay, so this is what we have so far. All right, we have our first two tiers. So now what we have to do is, like I said, you wanna find your center on your top pan on the bottom, okay? And then you also want to find the center on the inside of the pan. I don't know if you could see that, but I have a circle here. You want to do the same thing because this is your final tier, okay? And you'll see, you'll see why we need a circle on the top pan. All right, so let's get our E6000 and our hot glue on here. Squeeze out what I can out of here. Okay. And then let me get my hot glue. Okay, and then I am going to take this, flip it over, and center my center posts on the bottom like we did on the other one. I know it's hard for you guys to see, but I'm just gonna hold it there. And you know, it's kind of hard to see underneath here where your pencil lines are. So it might be helpful if you had a little flashlight just to kind of shine in there so that you can see your pencil marks. Okay, I don't want to flip it over until I know it's dry. So while I'm waiting for this part to dry, I'm going to take the top of my rolling pin, the top piece. Now, in order to, I don't know if you guys know this, but your rolling pin has a metal dowel that goes connects to the handle, then it goes through this hole and it goes through the whole rolling pin and out the other end to the other handle. So what you have to do is you have to get that metal pin out, and how I got it out was my maintenance guy at work put it in the vise and then was able to turn these and get them loose in order to get it out, because these are screwed onto the dowel and they were on there really tight. So that's why he put it in the vise, in order to be able to turn these and get them off. And then the whole thing just pulled right out. So what we have to do is we have to glue our handle back on. So I'm just gonna, again, I'm gonna take E6000 and I'm gonna squeeze it. I want it to be around like here, because it's gonna touch around the edge. So because I wanna make sure that it's gonna adhere to where the handle is touching. Okay, and then I'm also gonna put some glue inside here. I'm sure it's gonna ooze out, but I'll clean it up afterwards. Maybe not. And just make sure that you have that hopefully it'll stay. I may have to add more glue. Oh, it oozed out through, oh Lordy, oozed out through the hole. That's all right, we can redo that. We can redo that, not a big deal. Oops, it wasn't dry enough. All right, so now it's really oozing, but that's all right. I wanna make sure that this is not gonna go anywhere. And I wanna make sure that it's straight. So I'm gonna turn it to the side and look at it and make sure that it's straight. So I am going to let that dry. Let me set that over here. And I can always peel off that extra glue after it's dry. Get all this off my table. You think I would learn, like, to protect my surface, but I don't know. All right, so now let me turn this over. And this is, well, you can't see, this is what we have so far. It's kind of hard to get the idea, but as soon as I am able to glue this on, then I will turn the camera up and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's all done. All right, so now we need to do the top piece. So again, I have to have some more E6000. I'm going to squeeze every little bit of glue out of here that I can. I don't like to waste anything, so. All right. And now let's put some hot glue. All right. Now I'm gonna stand up to do this because I want to make sure that I get it in the center. There we are. All right. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry, guys, and then I will come back and I will show you what it looks like all put together. And then I will show you how you can style this. So I'll be back. All right, guys, I am about to show you the finished product, and I hope that I explained everything well enough for everyone. I'm also going to insert the inspiration picture at the end of the video. So without further ado, let me turn the camera around and show you guys. Okay, guys, here it is. This is the finished product. I wish I would have had a little bit of greenery that I could have put in here, you know, kind of cascading down. But unfortunately, I don't have any. So I did have these fake grapes, so I threw those on there. And I love vintage kitchen tools, so I do have quite a few in here. I also have a DIY. I have to stay off Pinterest, okay? Let me just tell you that, because I have been finding some awesome craft projects. So I don't know, I may have another one coming up. But anyways, here, let me turn this. I put this on top of a little Lazy Susan here so I could turn it and you guys could see. I just, guys, I guess I gotta watch where I put my fingers. Okay, so let me just give you a little look-see. So there's my salt and pepper shakers, one of my other vintage tools. This is actually a vintage, it's a jar opener. My little funnel. Really cute vintage orange extract, a honey bottle. And everything's falling, of course, because usually you can keep these things up with glue dots. But anyways, guys, so this is just to give you some ideas of how to, you know, do up your 3-tier tray. So, guys, that's going to do it. I hope that you enjoyed this DIY. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.